Introduction to Exercise 8B on Summarising Data Numerically on page 420 of your textbook. Over the last lesson, we've been looking at ideas of how to get information or find data in a primary or a secondary manner. But in this situation, we're saying, what will we do after we've got that data? Is there a way we can analyze or summarize the data in a way that's fair, in a way that's understood by everyone? There's a few key terminology here that I'd like us to understand before we head into this. The first one is range. Now, you might have seen these words in real life before, and it's not surprising because a lot of these words come from our understanding of mathematics. There's the average, or commonly known as the mean. We use in mathematics, we call it the mean. There's the median, and finally there's the mode. I'm going to go through this topic a little bit differently than we normally do. I'm going to go through an idea that we cover in the topic. I'm going to jump into the example and then jump back into the topic, and hopefully if you have any questions, you're more than welcome to pause and go back. Now, the range is something we're quite familiar with. So the range of a set of data we can calculate by taking away the highest number, taking away the lowest number from the highest number. I misspoke, my apologies. And we can do that. We can say, well, the lowest number, take away the highest number. If I'm trying to find, for example, the range of items or the range of prices in items at the canteen, I would take the most expensive item. Let's say it's a $6 burger. I find the cheapest item. Let's say, for example, it's a $1 hash brown. And I'd say 6, take away 1. And that will give me the range of prices at the store. Something we're quite familiar with. I'm going to jump into the example so that hopefully we can see this in action. So we're considering the ages in years of 7 people who are surveyed in a shop. The ages are 15, 31, 12, 47, 21, 65, and 12. First thing I'm going to do, I'm going to put them in ascending order so we can really see which one's smallest, which one's bigger. Now you remember ascending order means smallest to biggest. So I'm going to write my smallest values first. I'm going to write that up the top so we can see actually. So 12, 12, 15. The next biggest one I believe is 21, 31, 47, and finally 65. So we've got all those values there. Now to find the range of values, we take away the lowest number from the highest number. I know that the range of values I can say is 65, take away 12. Because it's my highest number, lowest number, take away my highest number. And putting that in the calculator or solving it by hand, you get 53. And so the range of ages is 53. Awesome. The next one we're looking at is the mean or the average. Now we've done this before, especially in the itemized project, but it's sum of all values divided by the total number of values. So you add the values up and you divide it by how many there are. I'm going to do that over here in this example here. I'm going to find the mean of this set of data by adding the values together. So I get 12 plus 12 plus 15 plus 21 plus 31 plus 47 plus 65. It's quite a large number. So you're more than welcome to do this in the calculator if you feel like you need to. Now, we have to divide by the total number of values. Now, how many people or how many values do we have? Remember, it's 7 people who were surveyed. And so we write over 7. Or you can write divided by 7. That's up to you. Putting that in the calculator, you end up with 203 divided by 7. Now, that means when you put that in the calculator, you get 29. Which means on average, the people that entered the shop were 29 years old. Now, we don't actually have anyone that is 29 years old, but we're saying on average, if we look at it collectively, they're 29 years old each, about. The next one we're looking at is median, which is this value right here. A median is our middle value when sorted from lowest to highest. Our middle value, so we're saying we're not calculating it, we're finding which number is going to be in the middle. So let's do part C over here. And I'm going to look up here for my answer. To find my middle value, I have to go sort them from lowest to highest. We've already done that, so that's good. Now I'm going to go 1, 2, 3. If I go 1, oops, sorry. If I go 1, 2, 3, I end up with both 15 and 31. If I go one more step, I know I've gotten the same number of steps both sides. And we end up with the answer of 21, which means the median value is going to be 21. So I write 21. All that's telling me is that the age of the person in the middle is 21 years old. Now, if there are two middle values, now in this situation there's not, but let's say that we have a situation where our numbers are 1, 5, 6, oops, yeah, that's 1, 5, 6, 7. Let's say that's our answer. If I go backwards, I go 1, 2, 1, 2. You'll notice that there's no number in between those, and so the median is actually the gap in the middle. So what we would have to do is we have to add them together, and then we divide it by 2. So I'd add these two numbers in the middle together, so 5 plus 6, and I divide it by 2, which would ultimately give me 5.5, which is the number right in between. Hopefully that makes sense. Finally, we're looking at the mode, which is the most common value. So the most common value is pretty straightforward. If I look at this example, I know that the number 12 comes up twice, everything else only comes up once, and so the mode is going to be 12. It is possible to have multiple modes, but that's how we go about it. Alright, now I do want to note before we continue that the mean or the average, let's say the mean, the median, and the mode are all measures of center. So they're all values or ways that we can try and determine numbers that are around the middle of our data. Okay, so the three different measures that describe the typical value of a set of data. Okay, now last example, or last question, E, says we have to, if another person surveyed who is 29% entered the store, what will be the new median? So 29. So if I've got this example here, I'm going to write my numbers out, but this time I'm going to write 29 there as well. So I've got 12, 12, I'll cross those out, 15, 21, I'll cross those out as well, 29, because that's what we're putting in, and then finally 31, 47, and 65. Questions asking for our new median. Remember, our median is the middle value, so we'll do the same thing. We'll go backwards. I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And you'll notice that the number we're looking for is in between these two numbers here, because there's no number in between, is there? So I add the numbers together, 21 plus 29, which gives me 50, and then I divide 50 by 2, which gives me 25. And so the new median is now 25. Hopefully that makes sense. Let me know if you have any questions. Otherwise, get started on exercise 8B.